The search for love among women has been deeply shaped by centuries of cultural expectations, myths, and emotional inheritances. From early childhood, many girls are taught to value relationships as central to their identity, learning that love is both a reward and a necessity for a fulfilled life. This training often intertwines love with approval, making the search for love feel inseparable from the search for self-worth. In many societies, traditional narratives frame women as the ones who must be chosen rather than the ones who actively choose. As a result, women's pursuit of love can become passive, centering on being attractive, pleasing, and nurturing to others rather than asserting their own needs. This dynamic subtly encourages dependency and fear of abandonment, which colors adult relationships in powerful ways. Women's experiences of love are also burdened by a cultural double standard. Passion and longing are celebrated in men as signs of strength or depth, while women's similar emotions are often dismissed as desperation or weakness. This double bind leads many women to feel shame for their desires, forcing them to repress or distort their authentic emotional needs. In psychological development, early experiences with parents, especially fathers, often establish the blueprint for how women will seek love later. If love was conditional in childhood, women might endlessly chase affection from partners who are emotionally unavailable, repeating familiar patterns in an unconscious effort to heal old wounds. Romantic fantasies, fueled by media and fairy tales, also heavily influence the female search for love. Women are often encouraged to believe that one perfect partner will rescue them from loneliness, insecurity, or hardship. These myths can create unrealistic expectations that real relationships inevitably fail to meet, leading to cycles of disappointment and self-blame. For many women, the search for love is deeply tied to the desire to be seen and understood. Unlike the fairy tale where love is simply about finding a prince, real longing is for emotional recognition, to be known deeply and accepted fully. Yet because many cultural teachings discourage women from knowing themselves first, this yearning is often misdirected outward before it is discovered within. Dependency is a frequent theme in women's search for love. Economic, emotional, and even existential dependencies have historically forced women to seek partnerships not just for companionship, but for survival. Although much has changed in modern times, lingering echoes of this necessity can still shape unconscious motivations and fears. Women often internalize the idea that being loved is something they must earn through self-sacrifice, beauty, or caregiving. This belief can make relationships lopsided, with women giving too much and receiving too little, sometimes losing themselves entirely in the process of trying to be lovable. Another trap in the search for love is the confusion between love and validation. Seeking affirmation from a partner can feel like love, but it is often rooted in insecurity rather than true connection. This confusion can lead women to stay in unhealthy relationships simply because they fear the collapse of their own self-image. Self-love becomes a central, necessary ingredient for transforming the search for love into something healthier. Without a strong internal sense of worth, women are vulnerable to settling for crumbs, mistaking attention or attraction for love, and enduring emotional neglect or mistreatment in the hope of being chosen. Feminism has challenged many of these old patterns, offering women new narratives of autonomy, mutuality, and empowerment. By asserting that women are complete beings on their own, feminist thought invites a redefinition of love as a meeting between equals rather than a rescue operation. However, the emotional realities of longing, vulnerability, and intimacy remain complex even after intellectual awakenings. Many women find themselves caught between new ideals and old emotional patterns, trying to forge relationships that honor both their independence and their deep human need for closeness. Healing the patterns that distort the search for love requires conscious work, understanding personal histories, grieving unmet childhood needs, setting boundaries, and redefining what love truly means. It is often a process of shedding illusions, mourning losses, and building a stronger relationship with oneself. Ultimately, the female search for love is not simply about finding the right partner, but about finding a home within oneself. From this place of inner stability, love becomes a shared experience of growth, freedom, and mutual recognition, rather than a desperate quest to fill an inner emptiness.